Hi guys, welcome to Cranble. Today we have got Nitisha Patel, author, Indian chef extraordinaire, has come in to show us how to make some amazing Indian food. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
It's okay.
This looks interesting. It looks like we're going to do a dal. And I'm only saying that because I know, but this is unusual ingredients that I've never come across. So tell me, what are these?
So this is urad dal. So I'll just get a little bit out to show you.
I'm going to dice this while you're talking.
That's fine, yeah. And if you can dice the onion, that would be great. So this is urad dal. As you can see, it looks like mini turtle beans, in fact. But it is a dal, it's a lentil. They're not a bean. What I've done is slow cook them. You can use a pressure cooker if you want. It will just speed up the process. But I've boiled them until they're really soft and just falling apart. And then when you cook those beans, they kind of go a bit velvety and they just really add a lot of texture to that sauce. Okay. Which you'll see a little bit later.
So you almost have to overcook the lentils.
Yeah.
So they go real soft, because the only lentils I've ever really used are foodie lentils.
Yes.
And you want to keep a bit of bite on those.
That's right. This is a complete opposite.
Right.
You want them to dissolve, you want them to melt. Just cook them for as long as you can to get them nice and soft, which is what I've done. So the other part then is red kidney beans. Oh, wow. So I've got some dried kidney beans. I soaked them overnight and then again I boiled them. I haven't done it together, I've kept them separate. Now that both the beans and the lentils have been boiled, I've put them together in a bowl. So the ratio is about 3 parts lentils to 1 part red kidney beans. Okay. So that's been boiled, so I'm just going to pop that aside until I need it a little bit later.
Okay, Patrick, do you want to come and have a little nosy at these in my hand?
Right, okay, so now we can start off the base for the sauce. So I'm going to go in a hot pan with some oil, about 5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Thanks, chef. Now, with all of my other recipes, I tend to season my oil at the start with what I call my woody spices. Yep. Just to let the flavours release. With this one, I'm going to do that at the end. Okay. With dals, I like to season my oil right at the end. This is the base, but there will be another seasoned oil, which I'll show you a little bit later. But now it's important to build a base. That doesn't have to be necessarily spicy or punchy. It just has to be the base for the dal. So I've got my oil. Next thing is this paste that I've shown you earlier. So it's my Holy Trinity paste. It's made with ginger, chilli and garlic. So good. What do you want me to do with these? Can you please core and remove the seeds? Yeah. And then just medium chop, please. Cool. So in this oil, I'm going to go in with half a teaspoon of the paste. So I'm just going to fry that off just to get rid of the raw garlic taste and the raw ginger taste. Doesn't take long, literally seconds in the hot oil. While I do the commie jobs. The commie job, chef. Now, I know you're busy doing the tomatoes, but I do need those onions. So I'm going to be a little pain and ask if you can put those onions in the pan for me. No, you really don't. Perfect, thank you. I always tend to put in a little bit of salt just because the salt helps the onion cook that little bit quicker. So half a teaspoon going in. So the onion is one of the most fundamental ingredients in any Indian dish. Okay. And the less you cook it, the less colour you get in your dish. So for something pale like a korma sauce, you would just soften them and not allow any colour. Right. But for something like a Dal Makhani, which is quite heavy and brown and it's quite robust, I want it to be caramelised. Okay. So I'm going to brown these onions so they cook slowly and gently, which will add sweetness and also colour to the dish. Lovely. So the Dal Makhani has been on for about 45-50 minutes. Yep. What happens now? So this is the dal and you can eat it just as it is. It'll be very, very healthy as it is, high in protein. It's got the lentils, it's got the beans in there. But Makhani means butter. Right. So now we're going to finish it off with some double cream, some butter, and then our aromatics, which is a garam masala and some dried fenugreek leaf. So we don't have to cook that out, that just goes in? Yep. So what, is it cream butter first and then the spices? Yes, so if you go in with the cream and the butter, put that in, let the butter melt and do its magic in there, and then we'll finish off with a sprinkle of the spices. Right, so I'll move this over here because there's probably enough residual heat to melt all that in there. Absolutely. And then you can show us how to do is it the finishing oil? That's right, the seasoned oil. So when you go to a curry house and you get a tadka dal, the tadka means seasoned oil. Right. And that always goes in at the end. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to do the seasoned oil, which will go in right at the end just to pack that last bit of punch and flavour. Awesome. So let's get on with that. Right then. I'm going to go over the butter first. Right, so for the seasoned oil, about 4 tablespoons of oil into a pan. Let that heat up nicely. You want it hot? We want it hot because if it's not hot, your spices won't sizzle. Yep, go in with your cream, chef. I'm now going to go in with my wooded spices. So some cassia bark, let that sizzle. Some clove and some cardamom pods. And just give that a minute. Just to infuse in the oil and release their own natural oils.
Right, so I can go with these now.
Yep. So
garam masala.
Garam masala.
And fenugreek. And
fenugreek leaf. If you can't find fenugreek leaf, you can use fenugreek powder. It still adds smokiness, but this is more flavoured. It's got more of a savoury note and it adds a lovely depth of flavour. Next, I'm going to go in with some cumin seeds. And they've sizzled straight away just because that oil was nice and hot.
Lovely.
Next, I'm going to go in with 1 red chilli, which has been split in half.
Can people use green chilies if that's all they can get hold of? I know that all chilies are readily available, but...
No, absolutely. I like my food quite spicy, which is why I'm using 1 whole chilli, which will add a fresh element.
Yeah.
But then I'm also going to use my Holy Trinity paste, just because that adds more of a heat.
Awesome.
So I'm just going to take that off the heat whilst I do this, because it will splatter. I'm going to put in about ½ a teaspoon. And it doesn't require too much cooking at all, just a few seconds. So finally, thank you, we are going in with some red chilli powder. So in that seasoned oil there, you saw that I had 1 red chilli, ½ a teaspoon of my Holy Trinity paste and red chilli powder.
Punchy,
so, punchy, chilli in 3 different forms.
It smells awesome.
And it's just transformed that colour. Look how golden it's gone now. So as I mentioned, you can eat that just as it is, but this oil transforms the whole dish.
So we put the whole shebang in, bark, chilies, everything?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything. You need that flavour. So it all goes in and there's still flavour in that pan. So I'm going to use a ladle of the Dahl and just deglaze the pan. Get all that goodness out.
Amazing.
And then we'll finish that off with some fresh coriander.
Just in?
Straight in. Beautiful.
And that's it. Wow. The smell, I'm tasting it. The smell has changed again. Bloody hell. That's absolutely amazing.
Good.
Really, really lovely.
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in.
No, that's
Thanks
fine.
for showing us this. I'm going to put the recipe on the website. You've got to try it. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.